Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Your Honor. I love you.
Yes.
You're the best.
Good evening, Your Honor.
All right. July 1st. State of San Andreas versus Reliks Smith. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Smith, can you go ahead and approach the bench here for me? And can I just have a valid ID,
Ow.
driver's license,
Ow.
insurance? Are you...
This man broke me. I'm sorry.
Oh. Nice one, Jason.
Stuck behind the bench. I was going to try to help him.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, you were arraigned previously, correct? Can you remind me, Mr. Romero, his plea?
It was going to be an Alfred plea. He's going to be guilty, but not. He's going to attest to his innocence. He's going to yeah.
Okay. All right. Have the lawyers been able to make up a plea deal before we proceed?
I've not been informed of a plea deal.
No plea deal. Okay.
You need to shout, Your Honor.
Oh, I am shouting. Maybe I'm not speaking loud enough.
Everybody else hear him in the back?
I hear him.
Oh yeah, I can hear him. All right.
I'm the furthest. I can hear him. You're the best.
Okay. With
I'm
no
your
submission
biggest
of plea
fan.
deal, we will we proceed with the prelim, where the DA's office is going to be providing evidence. And here we will determine if that evidence was found legally and lawfully. DA, your opening marks, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. It comes to the understanding of the DA's office that Mr. Smith has done this not once, but this would be the second count of planting explosive devices or allegedly planting explosive devices around a strategic area in the hopes that it will get him out of a criminal activity safe and sound. The SWAT team with the SAST successfully defused any bombs he had on his person, which appeared to be the only one physically there, and they scoured all of Toledo Bay to be safe, and they found no other bomb. With that being said, the district attorney's office does find that Mr. Reliks Smith is not only an unsafe person to be around, but has made multiple terroristic threats against both the state and the outlying regions of both Blaine and Los Santos County, respectively. That is all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. The defense may approach and have their opening remarks.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Jason Romero. I'm going to start off by saying this. I'm a practicing lawyer in Los Santos. I'm also a lieutenant at Pillbox, and I've also become one of the partners at Dynasty 8. And I want it to be on record that I'm defending Reliks Smith by my own accord. So I'm not here as a public defender. I'm here as his lawyer. Mr. Smith owns his own restaurant at La Spada and has worked at Harmony in the past. He's also provided services in terms of catering for events, including a government ball, which nobody objected to at the time. And that was attended by EMS, police, DOJ, etc. So today you'll be deciding whether or not he'll be charged with terrorism, and I'll give you my own reasons as well as other witnesses as to why he shouldn't be, as well as an expert on explosives that I'll have speaking. At the same time, I also want it to be stated that the police did not search Pulido, as well as the statement that on the date of arrest, the penal code states that terrorism is deemed causes of mass destruction using explosives, weapons, and other means to cause extreme violence and damage. Therefore, I do believe he's not to be charged with terrorism, just because of that reasoning. Oh, you want to fight?
No,
Are
sorry.
you doing this?
Sorry. I would I would like to say the charges I do believe have been changed a little bit.
I have not
Correct.
communicated that.
Okay.
I believe we communicated that at the arraignment hearing last week.
I don't remember that.
I believe they were changed from terrorism to conspiracy to commit terroristic acts. Which is
That was not communicated with me. I'm going to be honest with you.
Your Honor, was that reflected within the court record last week?
I'm trying to find it.
Because I believe I amended those charges per my office because we could not make a terrorism charge stick. However, terroristic threats no longer exist in our current penal code as of yet. I will be working with the Justice Department to get that changed so that the penal code does reflect the former charge of terroristic threats.
If that's the case, are we going to ask Reliks what he says about that?
So I'm referring back to the arraignment form that was submitted. On the arraignment form, it was conspiracy of terrorist acts. So from that point, it was already conspiracy.
Okay. That wasn't communicated with me, Your Honor.
It might have just been an oversight that we all have forgotten a little bit about. But I just wanted to make sure you're aware of the changes of the charges being brought forward. And as far as the original arraignment, there were several other felonies. I believe the DA's office is not pushing for those. Is that correct?
You mind refreshing my
Correct.
my mind, Your Honor?
So the original arraignment was conspiracy of terrorist acts ×2, possession of explosives, armed robbery, criminal threats, felony evasion.
Those charges still stand, Your Honor.
Okay. Alright, do we have any witnesses from the DA's office?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. We've got several key witnesses that were on the scene the night of the arrest.
Okay, and have you prepared a list of individuals?
I do not have them written up. I can verbally list them off, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
First one is going to be Levi Schmidt. Current division within the SAST is SWAT division. Finn Gilbert, who is I believe an officer 1 within the SAST with the Heat division.
I'm a senior cadet. Sorry.
Correction, Your Honor. Senior cadet with the SAST with the Heat division, and a Trooper Bob Johnson, who is part of SWAT as well, who is the commanding officer on scene.
Perfect. Do you have any audio, video, or any other evidence that's going to be submitted?
Bear with me, Your Honor. I believe I have one additional piece of evidence submitted by Mr. Schmidt himself, which was the report from the night of.
Your Honor, can I have 2 minutes with my client?
Yes, sir.
Can we use the back room?
Yes, you may.
Only Lahomes could make it. I knew there was a way.
I really wish Lahomes was here. He'd tie everything together.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
can we have a sidebar, you, myself, and Mr. Palmer?
Yes, you may approach the bench.
Thank you. Palmer? Can you hear me? I had a conversation with Reliks in terms of the charge being conspiracy. He's willing to plead guilty on that.
There is also the charge of. There's 2 counts to that.
meant
One
this.
count of armed
I
robbery.
do like our
possession
ties though.
of explosives.
Was he already charged with that? Wasn't this just for the?
No, this
Conspiracy?
was for all of it.
Can we do a quick plea, see what he says over it? Because
Up to your client. 'Cause
yeah,
he's-
I mean-
he's going to be 100. Like without a shadow of
Yeah,
a doubt, he had
I mean-
explosives on him.
right, but that's what I'm saying. If it's just conspiracy at that point,
Yeah.
right? There's no terrorism charge being pushed. That's the only thing.
Correct.
Right. So then
Because-
we could skip this whole thing right now. You know, if we just hear it.
If your client's willing to plead guilty to 3 felony charges, that's fine by me, or technically 4.
Right. Okay.
I'd
Do
sidebar.
you want to do a plea deal then? Should we just do a quick plea deal?
Up to you.
Don't call him over real quick. Rex, could you come here? You want to explain it to him real quick? The charges. Palmer.
So currently, as it stands, Reliks, I don't know if you can hear me over it.
Hold a second. Let's go over here. Okay. Okay, let's try again.
So, as it currently stands, you're being charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit terrorism or terroristic act, 1 count of armed robbery, 1 count of possession of explosives, 1 times criminal threats, and 1 times felony evasion.
Okay.
It is up to you and the discretion of your lawyer whether or not you wish to plead guilty or not guilty to those charges.
In the end, he's not being charged with terrorism, right?
Correct.
Right.
He's being charged with conspiracy to commit terroristic acts.
Which isn't as bad.
It's still pretty heavy.
It is, but you're not going to be labeled as a terrorist, is it?
Yeah. Well,
Not
they already say that about me ever since that
Right,
one
but
incident
if they,
was charged.
I mean, they can't label you as a terrorist if you're not charged with terrorism.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna plead guilty.
Okay.
So
So
the DA takes into consideration that I did spend 999 months and waited outside jail till PD.
That can be
trying to
part
put
of
me
the
back
plea
in.
deal.
Problem is, I can't count what you took as time served.
Well, I mean, we can get this over. We can have a conversation about it after this. I mean, we can skip this whole trial right now, and we don't have to waste time. You ready? Okay. You happy with that?
Wait,
Yeah.
about my bail money that I was supposed to be refunded because
I mean, that's fair.
Depending on the severity of the charges, we'll
We'll
have to
bring it up at the plea
what
deal.
we'll bring it up at the
Yeah.
plea deal.
All right. Let's get this done. Thank you, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Romero.
Your Honor, my client would like to plead guilty to the charges under the guise of a plea deal. For a plea deal.
So if I'm hearing this correct, you want to change your submission of plea into a guilty for the conspiracy of terrorist acts, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Does that also include the other charges?
I believe so, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. What's the DA's thought process on this?
DA has no argument to the proposition of the guilty plea.
Okay. At this time, by the powers bestowed on me and the request for the change of plea, we will move into sentencing now. Is there any recommendations from the DA's office as far as sentencing goes?
Bear with me, Your Honor. I will have to do. I'll have to do some quick tally.
Okay.
Your Honor, the plaintiff would also like to take into consideration on the day of the penal to go off of that if possible. Because I but it's under to my understanding the penal code recently has been changed.
It has, but only has added a charge under a Title One,
Okay.
which has no relevance to this case whatsoever.
And my client would also like to take into consideration that upon serving his sentence until trial, he did serve a substantial amount of time in custody in prison.
What was that time?
900.
999 months,
Hey, shout out
however.
Tim Watson.
Oh wow. Okay.
Also, at the DA's discretion, Your Honor, we would like to negate that as that is pending a not guilty plea within the police cells. That was him awaiting a trial for conspiracy charges for terroristic acts.
Okay.
If I could
So
actually say this, Your Honor, actually, I had no right to choose my plea deal. They automatically sent me to the nines. No choice. No choice to plead guilty or not guilty. Sent me straight to the nines. I had no choice. I had to go straight to the nines.
Yes,
Your Honor,
sir.
I believe I may be able to shed some light on that. It was authorized per my office to have him go to prison pending a trial because I had no way of communicating with Mr. Smith or the SAST actively at the time. They asked for my best judgment, and I told them the course of action I would take would be to send him to Bolingbrook pending a trial due to the terrorism charge or a possible terrorism charge.
So it's safe to say that he's time served?
I would be willing to forego time. However, the charges we will have to, or damages to the state, we will have to tally up.
I would say we could probably negotiate it in the plea deal.
Correct.
Okay.
Is the trial by combat in is that applicable in this state?
No.
Negative.
Ah, okay. We do have a fight club coming up, so I figured.
I mean, yeah, and I'm actually in that, so you know.
The district attorney's office is willing to forego any time in prison, considering he did serve a fair bit of time in the prison. Beyond that, I will have to do some math.
Perfect. Mr. Reliks, I was just reading up on this. For restitution, you guys are gonna discuss the jail time. I really don't have a part in that. I'm okay with whatever is being sent, most likely. Unless it's like forever. We don't want you going away forever. But you are responsible for all the expenses that were required for the police department, the medical services, medical prepness, evacuating the institution that you're part of. You're responsible for restitution of those charges. Do I have any individuals from the police force that has a record of how much money was potentially spent on getting services out there?
I do not believe there was a given amount just yet, Your Honor. I'm sure we could tally it all up and come up with a rough figure on top of the additional fines per the charges.
All right. Well, at this time, then, with the submission of a plea deal, I'm going to consider this trial over with, and a plea deal will be worked out. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you, Your
coming out,
Thank you, Your
and
Honor.
have a wonderful night.
Who do we do, Tim?
Do do do